When you look at Textract, it's quite a bit different. So most of these hypervisor OCR engines utilize this concept of a per page charge, right? So in Textract's cost, it's actually 0.015 per page. So the difference is trying to figure out what it's going to cost you to consume Azure OpenAI is very difficult, but at the same point in time, compared to AWS Textract, it's 96% less expensive. So when you go to Textract now, you'll see this custom queries object here. Now I've already created an adapter. You can obviously hit create adapter here, but I'm going to just go through the sequence, and you'll notice here it has like step 1 through 6. So data set, queries, and then you verify your documents. So data set is you basically upload a bunch of documents, okay? So typically there's a few different ways to do that. One, you can add documents here, and it will prompt you, or you can add them to an S3 bucket where you can pull in those particular document sets. Okay, now it will say start reviewing, so you're going to start annotating those particular documents. So let's now look at the queries that I wanted to create, and these queries can be whatever you want. What date was the letter sent? Who is the borrower? What is the phone number for the bank? What is the account number? Now you don't have to structure it exactly in a question. You could just put account number. Verify the documents, and one of the documents I'm just going to pull up. I'm going to show what it does. So if I select it and then view annotations, you're going to notice here this is a fake, we call Bailey letter, and what was the date the letter was sent. And you notice how there really isn't a key value pair here. It was able to figure that out. Who was the borrower name? Carrie Shirley. What was the phone number? What was the account number? What was the ABA routing number? Who was it attention to? So I have Kodak Info Input here. So the first thing I did was I created an extraction profile, and this is for the AWS piece. So you'll see here AWS Textract and analysis is their essential like generic form parser. Okay, one of the I'll just say this accident claim, I just consume the extraction profile I just set up. So you'll see here in the drop down is that Amazon text extract analysis, and one of the queries or one of the options here is this ability to set queries. Okay, so these are the queries that we're going to be passing to that AWS Textract, and then we just need to map it to what we call a document class. So let's grab our next batch, and this one is using claims demand letter. So this is one of the cooler ones. Okay, so if we move this over one, you'll notice we're using a advanced indexing form, so you can customize this right side. But in this case, we're doing two things. One, we're grabbing the policy number, and then we're doing a database lookup to get the claim number. So that's this claim number you notice actually was populated from a database. It also looks at the sentiment, right? So you see this high priority. The generative AI within AWS can actually read sentiment, right? Is this a negative letter? Is it a positive letter? Is this, the house is burning down? It's very important. So we can actually, route based on a priority level, based on the status that's associated with the sentiment within a letter. Here, what was the date of the accident? So it was smart enough not to pull that top left date, right? January 25th, 2023. It knew the context December 18th. On December 18th, my grandson and I were involved in an accident. So it was smart enough to figure that out. Here, was an ambulance required? So it, you could give true false type statements to figure out, again, downstream workflow. Maybe this gets routed with a higher priority. How quickly they want this settled. Is there a mention of settling quickly? Is there a request for next steps? Things like that. And then you can see here, is there a mention of an attorney? Do they ask for a response back? So a lot of these things can then trigger downstream workflows, and a real benefit to IDP, intelligent document processing, and likely the generative AI is that we're extracting and normalizing data from unstructured documents. This is a completely unstructured document. You don't know what it is, right? What's the gross pay? In this particular case, it used the current. What is the net pay? Now, in this particular case, you notice how current, it grabbed the gross pay from the current versus the net pay from the year to date. So if we look at what that query was on the back end, you're going to notice I actually asked it. So we go to the queries here. What is the year to date net pay, right? Versus what is the current gross pay? So that column, it was current and year to date. So it was able to figure out what that column meant as it relates to net pay.